Hello and welcome back to inmr, where in today's podcast I'll be explaining how Liverpool are going to set up under Arne Slot and why he's a good fit for the Reds. Earlier on in the season, Jurgen Klopp announced that he would be leaving the club after 9 years in charge. It was news that shocked the football world, but of course led to plenty of speculation as to who would replace him. Xabi Alonso, Roberto de Zerbi, Ruben Amorim, the list goes on. So many managers were linked with a move to Liverpool, but it seems they finally got their man, and it's none of the three favourites that I just mentioned. The next manager of Liverpool is going to be Arne Slot, and today I'll be showing you what to expect from the Dutchman and how Liverpool will look as they enter their new era next season. So first of all, let's start with the elephant in the room. Who is Arne Slot? It's not unfair to say that Liverpool were linked with much bigger names in the managerial world and have ended up with a guy not many people are familiar with yet. So here's what you need to know. Slot joined Feyenoord from AZ Alkmaar in 2020. His side finished third as he won the Eredivisie Manager of the Year award. They also reached the Europa Conference League final that year, narrowly missing out to Jose Mourinho's Roma. That summer, Feyenoord lost many key players but still managed to win the Eredivisie in the 2022-23 season. This year, Feyenoord are second, currently behind PSV by 9 points, but that's not due to them dropping off. It's just been that PSV have had incredible form this season. In fact, they're unbeaten since the start of December, but Feyenoord have still done really well. They've already won a trophy this season after beating NEC Nijmegen 1-0 in the KNVB final. He's only had 2 managerial jobs in his career so far and is already wanted by a footballing giant. I think that tells you everything you need to know about his talent and potential as a coach. So, why is Slot so highly rated? Well, first of all, he's turned Feyenoord into a powerhouse in the Eredivisie. They've been very successful and play a very attractive style of football, and a big part of why players rate him so highly is his man management. He's very good with his players on a personal level, which allows him to get more from them. We've seen in recent years managers creating better bonds with their players and the correlation it has with success, so this is a very positive sign for Liverpool fans. On the pitch, he's rated highly due to his influence on football in such a short space of time. The Dutchman landed his first managerial role at Alkmaar just 5 years ago, and after transforming Feyenoord, he's already deemed ready for the Premier League. You have to say it's been a rapid rise, so it'll be interesting to see how he handles it in the Premier League. On to the tactics then. In possession, Slot likes to build up the play in a 4-2-3-1 setup using a double pivot. The 2 players in the double pivot operate close to the centre-backs and use short passes to move the ball around the opposition's press. This is fairly similar to De Zerbi's setup at Brighton in terms of Slot's use of third-man combinations to build the play. The fullbacks remain deep in the build-up but then push up and support when the ball is in more advanced areas, and when the fullbacks push up, the midfielders in the double pivot support from deeper positions to restart attacking moves or switch the play. The right winger then moves inside to support the 10, which results in numerical advantages in midfield. So as you can see from this picture, Jahanbash comes in to create a 4v3 in midfield when the ball eventually comes to him. The attacking quartet is a big part of Slot's attacking ideas, so the double pivots support the main attacking 4, which is made up of 2 wide attackers, the 10 and the striker. On the left of the box, the wingers hold the width and combine with the centre mids when close to goal, and on the right of the box, the winger comes inside, which means you have 2 10s, allowing the right back to push up and have far more space out wide. When the play's on the other side, this system is reversed, so Idrissi would come in as the 10 to allow Hartman at left back plenty of space on the left wing. Out of possession then, Arne Slot opts for a high press. When the opposition send the ball wide, the winger and the fullback press aggressively, leaving a back 3 with the double pivots screening to cover them. The 10 also pushes across to support the press out wide, often preventing the player closest to the ball to cut out the easiest passing options. As you can see here, Stengs is coming inside, as that is the easiest passing option for the opposition. The midfielders in the double pivot going man for man, as you can see. This led to more regains in midfield, but it does leave gaps in behind if they fail to win the ball back. There's also gaps on the channels if the high pressing fullback doesn't win the ball, but that's always something that's going to happen with high risk, high reward football. But because they do have so many players high up the pitch when pressing, they cause a massive threat when they do win the ball back due to the amount of players already forward. Feyenoord's pressing setup is one of the most successful in Europe. They've made 722 interceptions so far this season, and Liverpool have currently made 706, which suggests this is a system that they could easily learn. Although Slot prefers his side to go for the high press, they don't overcommit to it. If it's not on, they won't do it and are comfortable sitting in a low to mid block. The 4-4-2 shape provides better support on the wings, and although it's a more reserved block, the wide players still apply pressure aggressively when the moment's right, waiting for a pass to be played or a bad first touch, and then they can pounce and win the ball back. The double pivots in midfield have different roles depending on which side the ball is on. The midfielder closest to the ball supports the wide press, while the other stays to protect the back line and not leave too much open space in the middle of the park to exploit. So, now that we understand Slot's tactics, let's talk about how that's going to suit Liverpool. So we've already highlighted that the high pressing approach is similar to what Liverpool currently do out of possession. Their attacking style is very similar too, which should mean the Liverpool side won't take too long to adapt to Slot's ideas. There's no doubt that more experienced and established managers will be available to replace Klopp, but Liverpool have chosen to go the other route. The most eye-catching data is Feyenoord's pressing, and although we've mentioned it a lot, it is a huge part of Slot's success. Last season, only Benfica won possession more times in the final third per game than Feyenoord, and as you can see from this graphic on screen, the average distance from their own goal when winning the ball back in open play is almost identical to Liverpool's. Liverpool and Feyenoord also share similarities from high turnovers and shot-ending high turnovers. Feyenoord have made just 9 fewer high turnovers from 4 less games and 6 less shot-ending high turnovers, once again showing how effective Slot's pressing setup really is. Both managers aim to control the same areas of the pitch too. Feyenoord do dominate more areas of the pitch, but that's due to facing much weaker opponents compared to Liverpool. So this is how Liverpool could look next season. Obviously, you can rotate. If Jota's fit, you'd obviously put him up front, in my opinion. I think Trent will flourish under Slot as he likes to create space for fullbacks to push high and get loads of crosses into the box. And as we all know, that is what Alexander-Arnold is best at doing. The two wingers under Slot are usually positioned so that they can cut inside, which is what Liverpool currently do, with left-footed Salah playing on the right and right-footed Diaz playing on the left. Mo Salah's been linked with a move away, but it is reported that Jarrod Bowen could make the move to Anfield to replace him if Salah does make that move to the Saudi League. And once again, Bowen is somebody that fits the mould to do well under Slot. He can cut inside and use his left from the right-hand side, and also has experience drifting in and becoming a more central player, which we would see from him in the attacking quartet, as we spoke about earlier. Koop Meiners has been linked with Liverpool for a long time, and seeing as he used to play under Slot, it wouldn't be surprising if the Dutchman tries to bring a player in who's already succeeded in this system. Overall, it looks to be a much smoother transition compared to bringing in Xabi Alonso or Ruben Amorim, due to the completely different football that they choose to play. Yes, Xabi Alonso has been very successful, but it's a totally different playing style to what Liverpool are used to, whereas this is going to be quite familiar under Slot. In my opinion, Liverpool have made a good choice bringing in Arne Slot, and I'm looking forward to watching the new Liverpool next season. That is where I'm going to end today's podcast, but there's plenty more you can go and listen to. For extra content, be sure to go and check out my website where you can find loads of different articles. I do match reports, analysis, live blogs, and the link for that is in the description, or just search inmr.journalist.co.uk. And finally, be sure to follow inmr on X and Instagram for updates on my podcast, website, and the latest football news. Thank you very much for listening, and I will see you in the next one.